Ay, 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 ay. Guys, Yugioh, let's talk for a minute. We need to address this. We need to know now what you were thinking. What is with this guy's design? I know we saw him in the OP and he's been in promotional images, but I prefer to talk about things when they get formally revealed to us because, the show can always do things to improve an iffy design, and when you're dealing with something with a lot of crazy design choices like Yu-Gi-Oh, you gotta give it some time to process, but I can't take the look of this guy seriously. Like, what is with the color scheme? This weird 80s, workout outfit he's in? He looks less like a Yu-Gi-Oh player and more like some sort of weird Brazilian gay stripper. Seriously. And the colors and the skin tone is very Go, and even the body style looks extremely like Go. And considering the fact that his theme look is even sort of that sort of wrestler look, I almost can't help but wonder, what if this is just a Go design that got rejected or something? He looks like Go-To Electric Boogaloo. I don't even mind doing a different color palette choice, as obviously we're dealing with a much more brighter looking show, but just in general, oh god, who approved this? Fire that person. He looks horrible. And since he seems to be the main focus of what's going on now, we'll be looking at this guy a lot, and I'd like to be able to take him seriously at some point. And oh boy, the brother actually looks okay. Honestly, I don't know if it's because the color palette is more consistent, so to speak. He looks more like a straightforward design. Even his general persona and look is very, I'm the kid in charge and this is the muscle type thing. I like that. Even their two bots at the end kind of makes sense, seeing as these two are very obviously into bright neon bombastic colors for a reason no human being will ever understand. So making them look like that makes sense. I just feel like if you need me to take this guy seriously, I need to believe it at some point. And even his deck I thought was trash. I have no idea what his actual strategy was. It just seemed like some sort of weird double attack and change attributes. It seems like the sort of shitty thing that the writers think, oh, well, people will find this intelligent because he does a lot of talking just to do anything. No, it's not good. Considering the last duel featured a fucking extra link, this was just, no. As for everything else, though, it was fine. I just had to get that off my chest. So this was very simplistic. It was mostly focused on the duel, which, yeah, it didn't totally work for me, but some of the ideas brought up here I thought were sort of a nice change of pace. I like the fact that the little brother is in charge. We've obviously seen the big brother-little brother relationship in a lot of these Yu-Gi-Ohs, and it's kind of interesting the little brother is the one in charge, and he's kind of the one in control, but it makes you wonder, is it just because he's the only one who seems to be stable? Or is there something more nefarious going on here? Either or could be really cool. And the guy himself, the way he's freaking out and convulsing and scared over his memories. We all got the impression last week, I'm sure, that something was off with the opponent, but the way he was just freaking out and panicking like that was really interesting, and the way the brother just knew how to instantly get him under control and get him to finish the duel. I thought that's a really cool idea because it implements a lot of, or makes us think of a lot of cool options the plot could go. It is very intriguing and it is very interesting. Again, I can't take this guy's design seriously. And then the new Code Talker monster, shooting Code Talker? Come on, you guys had a year to think of this. Come on. That's all you could think of? I thought for certain we would get Recode Talker or something, but so be it. The effect is interesting. I have a feeling someone's going to come up with some sort of bullshit degenerate OTK around it at some point because Yu-Gi-Oh! And then we got the Cyberse Ritual Monster, which was really cool, because a part of me was, even though obviously it's the cover card of Cybernetic Horizon, a part of me is they'll never put it in the show. They barely do anything with rituals. Yusaku's strategy is just link. They'd never really do anything different, and They did. I think that's a really neat idea. Why not give Yusaku ritual monsters? Ritual monsters, for those of you who don't know, maybe you don't really follow competitive, is definitively the worst game mechanic. Like, they really are. I know some people are iffy on Lynx. A lot of people hated Pendulum. But realistically, it's ritual summoning. From the beginning, ritual summoning was bad. A couple ritual monsters work their way into relevancy over the years, but for the most part, it costs way too much hand. It's way too specific. You need the ritual monster, the spell, and then monsters on top of that to summon the thing. I mean, fusions weren't good for a long time either, but at least since the fusion monster was in the extra deck, it was at least somewhat more simplistic. Here you needed a lot of monsters to get to the high stars, or have a bad hand you're hoping a BLS or a Magician of Black Emo will fix. Like, it's just not a very good mechanic. Part of the reason Necroz had to be so overpowered was because you needed to add all these things just to make rituals good. Now, yes, there have been littler ritual decks over the years like Gishki and Gishki, and those decks did cool stuff. Don't get me wrong. But they, of course, were somewhat lacking, and they never did too great, although a couple of them are on the forbidden list because thank you, degenerate FTKs. Again, because Yu-Gi-Oh! So that's cool. I hope we get more in the future. I really think it would be cool if each one of our MCs used a different summoning mechanic. Like, I didn't look it up, but if I'm correct, Gokis are getting a fusion monster. At least I think. I don't really know. But that would be really cool. Like, Go uses fusions, which obviously getting them to the grave works good with Gokis. Maybe Aoi could use synchros. Wait. That means Trickstar tuners and needle fiber, and, you know, we'll let them do whatever they want to do. But you know what? I thought there was some neat stuff in here. Just that guy's design, and just fix it. Fix it. Revolver was intimidating. Hell Spectre was kind of creepy. Just with this guy, fix it. As for the TCG question of the week, right before I recorded, it was Italian Yu-Gi-Oh! Revealed our 8 TCG imports. Remember, we get OCG imports. Remember, we get 12 TCG exclusives now for reasons, and only 8 OCG imports. So many people were wondering, what does this mean with the Link Vrains pack? How are we getting these things? Do we still get Crystron Needle Fiber? Well, it looks like we're not getting Crystron Needle Fiber, which is interesting because my entire basis of where things were going was based on Needle Fiber. I figured they banned Dandelion, so surely he's coming, and he's not this set, which is strange to me because I figured Needle Fiber would be the thing that would sell this set, and without him, I'm not entirely sure what will. Is it the Troymares? The Troymares are cool, and they do a lot, but they're not as sexy as Needle Fiber is, which is something people are super looking forward for, to the point where not a lot of people have been talking about the Troymares here. When Electromite showed up, and it was then put in Extreme Forces, people wanted that. People were really excited for Electromite, and so that worked. Now, obviously, Saruja has now sort of taken over Electromite's popularity spot, which is cool, but that, you know, that worked because you gave us what we wanted. And now you're not. In fact, all the TCG imports suck. It's cool we're getting the Crystal Beasts, and who knows, maybe we will get a ban list in a few weeks that kills the Pendulum FTK and brings us Construct back since we're getting the Shadol Link. I really don't entirely know what to think of this. I don't mind 12 TCG imports because I actually kind of I'd like to see Vendreads and FAs be something, and I feel like 4 cards per set isn't enough anymore. It worked with BA and it worked with Cosmos because those were independent running engines, but you can only make decks like that for so long before you just need more stuff, and since the whole point of Master Rule 4 is to balance the game out, I think decks, rightfully so, should need more than just 1 or 2 engine pieces, says the guy who abuses Astrograph every match. But what do you think about all that? Personally, and this is very selfish, I have a regional the weekend this set comes out, so not having to worry about too much new stuff that I haven't been practicing with. I haven't done enough testing with Needle Fiber. Not having to worry about that crap kind of makes me a little happy. admittedly kind of selfish way. But what do you think about all that? Tell me that in the comments below. I know I went a bit on with that, but I did have a few thoughts I'd like to talk about that. And what did you think of this episode? As always, click to like, click to subscribe, and, well, I got nothing. I'm just really wondering what happens with needle fiber in the BA link now.